What's good, NBA family, and welcome back to another episode of the Clutch Talk podcast slash YouTube slash We Do It All. As always, I'm your host, John. Very happy to be here. And it's a real special episode, man. I got one of my guys in the building, man. I ain't gonna lie. I met my dog in Vegas at Summer League, man. And ever since then, we kept in touch. He been supporting the show. He been talking about he wanted talking some hoops with me, man. So I'm more than happy to have my guy Jason Gray on the show. My dog, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I really appreciate the invitation to come on here and chop it up, talk some hoops. I've been watching your passion come through on the pod. I know you're over here grinding, and it's just you can't know too many people to just get in those trenches and talk hoops with. So I'm excited to have some back and forth, talk about the in season tournament, talk about just the league. So this is my passion, and looking at some good back and forth.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, we are happy to have you. And for the family out there, I will link all of Jason's social media in the description down below. So if y'all want to go follow my boy, go stay up to date with everything that he got going on. Very interesting man. Y'all can stay up to date with that. But that's neither here or there, man. Let's go ahead and get into the show, and let's go and get into the all this NBA fandom, NBA drama that's going on. Today is Sunday, December 10th. We just saw the Lakers make history and become the first team in NBA history, I guess. I mean, it was the first time it happened.
Mm-hmm.
They won the in-season tournament. They beat the Pacers 123-109. So we'll kick it off with that, brother. So let's talk about some news around the league. How do you feel about the in-season tournament? How'd you feel about that game? Just let's start us off with that.
First off, it was live. Like the whole thing was pretty lit. Like the energy, I even like how they had the spotlight stuff with the crowds blacked out and the different color courts. So all that was good. Like this is a win, and folks are declaring it a win. I have a couple questions, but overall, like I haven't been this excited about an NBA season in a long time. I'll just leave it at that. It's been a long time since like just the dog days of December, January. It's like it's what's up. What do you think about it?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, brother. So when it first came out, when this whole like in-season tournament thing came out, I wasn't really a big fan of it because I was like, okay, well, you play to win a championship, not an in-season tournament championship. But like when I took a step back, and granted, I am a Lakers fan, so it felt a little better for me to see my Lakers winning. But like when I took a step back, I said, you know what? Usually December, like how you said, it'll be the dog days. It'll be like teams is not playing their star players, not really caring. But instead, we had LeBron James, 38, about to be 39, still playing 34 minutes. He played 34 minutes last night, gave full energy. We had Anthony Davis had a 41-point game, 20 rebounds. And I mean, it's like how you said, as for hoop junkies, you just love to see it. You love to see the intensity. You love to see instead of LeBron and AD sitting at a December 9th game, now we have this classic back and forth game. But I will say this, though, even as a Lakers fan, to me, it holds no value. Like I'm happy. Yeah. Shout out, Maxwell Lewis. Shout out Maxi Christie. All these guys that damn near doubled their yearly paycheck in one day. Shout out all that. Like I've never been the type to hate on that. But to me, like I can never be sitting here and be debating with somebody and be like, oh, my team won an in-season tournament. Like to me, I don't know. Like to me, that holds no.
How do you think they felt? How do you think they felt celebrating that on the stand last night, right?
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, what do you do though? Like you can't under celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? But if you over celebrate it, people are gonna kill you.
Yeah, but you know what I thought about, because I had it on in the background. The game was a blowout, and I was like, it's on mute. A lot of times I just watch the game so I can absorb what I'm watching. Mm-hmm. And then as I'm not paying attention, and then I look back and they're celebrating like it's a championship, I was like, and then I purposely didn't turn the volume on because I'm just reading body language, right? And they're going through it. And I thought about Kobe. I thought about like, you remember that press conference? Job finished?
Job's not done yet. Job's not done yet.
Finished, right? Mm-hmm. That's all I thought about. But I got a question for you. I had a couple of thoughts. I was like, one's more from a Lakers season and their speed right now, because I was like, this kind of reminded me of the bubble, right? It's like they got to take advantage of the break. that 3-month break that AD and LBJ got to take advantage of, and then the dynamic was different in the bubble, and they pressed on, and it was, you know, LeBron's an opportunist, took advantage of it, and like this, I'm like, you know, Adam Silver went to him and he was like, I know you want this team in Vegas. Like, we need to get this popped off right. You can endear yourself to the fans. Like, you know, this, you know, we got. I'm just, you know, I'm always that skeptical guy. Like, what's the agenda here? Like, what is this really about? So, and the lasting question, the real question I got for you though, is like, and you know, everybody's declaring this like a success, but in 2 years or 3, when the newness has worn off and there's no tangible playoff inside track like benefit, is getting the bottom half of the roster this extra bread gonna be enough to carry the tournament? That's my question to you. What do you think?
And that definitely is a great question. I mean, honestly, me personally, I think that I think it's actually gonna capture people's hearts as the time goes on. Because for me, another thing that I wasn't liking when they first introduced was the whole play-in tournament. Now I am an absolute fan of it. I love it. It makes the league. It makes the league more competitive. It makes the bottom half of teams of the league want to like, okay, I'm actually got to play for something. And I honestly think that this is the same thing that this in-season tournament thing is gonna do. Like, that as the years go on, it's going to capture more and more people's hearts. Like, and I can only speak from my perspective, because from my perspective, I didn't like it. And as now it's gone by, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just seeing competitive basketball. So to me personally, I think it's just going to grow on people and go.
Okay. No, let me ask the pointed question. Let me push back a bit. Do you think the buy-in from Giannis, like the elite heavy hitters, the ones with the $40 million plus contracts, right? Are they going to be bought in? Because the first thing that's going to happen when the offseason hits is coaches and GMs are going to look at how big of a deal was it, right? Is this something we can punt on or load manage, right? And half of them are going to bow out earlier. And when that high intensity of the first year and the newness wears off, then that's some of that, like, it degrades a bit. Are you still going to be? And that's my only question. And I think that it has to be, the motivation for the players is going to have to be more than getting the 11th man on the roster paid.
That's real.
So again, maybe that's something that they tweak or fix. You know, you got to
absolutely
evaluate.
That's where and to even add to your point, I was actually talking to my brother about this yesterday, and he was saying that the stats for this in-season tournament is just like the play-in. It just fucking vanishes, bro. Like, it just goes into air, which is like
ether.
for exactly for ether, right? So for those, like how you said, the Giannis's, the LeBrons, the Currys, it's like, unless you just have that competitive driving you like Kobe to where you want to win absolutely everything, like why keep going if my stats aren't even going to be recorded? So that is a great point, and something that honestly, in due time, us NBA fans, we gonna see how it rolls out, man. But all right, brother. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our first segment of the show here, and that is the fill in the blank segment here, brother. Very simple. I have a statement here for you, and then gonna stop, and you fill in that blank with whatever you got going on. This is usually with stuff that's going on around the league. But is that cool with you, brother? You want to get into this?
Yeah. You didn't give me no heads up on the topic, so you're gonna have to bear with me as I'm trying to, like, I don't want to say the first thing. Go with
no, you good, brother. You good. We on this show, we love to just get your raw reaction. We want your raw take. We want your raw reaction, your first thought. So that's exactly why, brother. But let's go ahead and get into it, Jason. And my first statement here for you, my brother, is the defensive player of the year this year is gonna be.
I want to say Drew Holiday.
Okay, I like that.
I think. Let me see here. Who's got the number one defense right now in the league?
I believe it's the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, it is the Timberwolves, and I can't buy that gas. I can't.
I cannot buy that. Thank you, brother. Go ahead.
I cannot buy that gas.
Get off.
I'm gonna say. Who will win it? It won't be Drew. Who I think should win it is probably Drew, because I think the point of attack defense, and he's going to get flanked by a whole team that is going. I think he's the best, most versatile guy. You can put him on on somebody like Giannis and just take away that first step of his. And yeah, he'll be able to shoot over him, but like he can also get out there and check the fastest and the shiftiest of the shift. And he's so stout, and it's like, yeah, I'm rolling with Drew. There's some honorable mentions out there. The real issue I have with Minnesota, actually, let me let you take that one, and then I want to bounce off of that.
Okay.
But who's yours?
Okay, I like that. See, I love when Marcus Smart got it. When the guards get it, because me personally, I'm a guard, and I know how hard it is for guards to play defense. But as we know, it's rare that it goes to a guard because last time after Marcus Smart, it was Gary Payton in '99. But to answer the question, I think it's going to be a great race between Turner, Brook Lopez, even Wemby and Chet. But I think at the end of the day, there's no player that deserves the Defensive Player of the Year award more than Anthony Davis. Like the man should have got it last year. He didn't play enough games last year to get it. So they went to Triple J. But if you think about it, right now he's averaging a career high in blocks and 2.7 blocks per game. He's second in the league for most blocks behind Brook. Brook, I believe, has like 4 more blocks than him. But when out of all those guys that I named, right, and Miles Turner, Brook Lopez, AD, even Chet and Wemby, I think out of all those guys, I feel most comfortable with Anthony Davis staying with players out in the perimeter or being able to hold his own. I'm not saying that he's going to be able to lock up a Kyrie or lock up a Luka in the perimeter, but he's not one of those players to where once you get him out on the perimeter, he's on an island and it's now time to go to work and I'm going to blow past you. Defense is going to have to crash. And now it's a 4-on-5 situation. I think Anthony Davis can hold up his own, and inside, man, he anchors that defense like crazy. I don't know if you got to see the game yesterday, but this man just his timing is impeccable. His wingspan is impeccable. The understanding of the game, and most of all, like in the airing of the game yesterday, Doc Rivers was talking about how like Anthony Davis takes pride in defense, right? Like he's not one of those guys where he can go out there and put 40, like as we just seen last night. But what he wants to do and where he knows he makes a contribution to the team is holding down that paint, is being the defensive anchor. So in my opinion, I think it's got to be AD this year. But talk to me about why you're not feeling Rudy.
Well, no, let me unpack a little bit about that. Now, AD has been one of my whipping boys for a minute, but and we're gonna have some fun here now that you branding yourself as a Laker fan. So that's good to know. I mean, obviously you got stuff in the back, but here let me actually co-sign what you just said. Anthony Davis. One of the things, and when you asked the question, and I said Drew, he stuck out because to me he's 101 as that versatile point of attack. But what I value the most when I look at teams is that secondary and weak side rim protection, but you're not a leaky sieve when you get caught on the perimeter like you was talking about. So I can co-sign all of that. He's been healthy playing in all the games. It does look like them blocks and the rest of that versatility on the defensive end is there. So yeah, I'm with that. I'm waiting for it to fall. Just when he takes his 6-week,
damn, brother.
His annual that's in season tournament's over. He's going to need to take his little hiatus right before the playoffs.
Damn.
So we'll see, but he is holding it down. With Rudy and Karl Anthony Towns, that team, they contrast against the rest of the league, right? So when you play them on a Tuesday night, that dynamic is different. But when the playoffs roll around, offensively and defensively, they get to that second round, teams are going to start exploiting Cat, or even if it's Gobert on the island. And then defensively, they're going to make Rudy be accountable. And is Karl Anthony Towns like Ant is it? Ant is the truth. And Rudy Gobert is going to be the offensive liability. So when that defense calibrates to stop them offensively, we got to put all the chips on Cat to put a team down. And I'm just, your look on your face says it all. The look on your face says it all. I'm just like, I'm not betting on that. So when you want to catch a team on a Tuesday off guard, it's going to look good and you can walk away with the number 1 seed. I don't know.
I love that you said. I love that you said that, brother. And honestly, I'll be real with you, bro. Like I'm thinking like, why is not everybody on the same mindset that we're on? How many times have we seen Rudy be this great defensive player in the regular
Yeah.
season and get played off the court in the playoffs? Like it's happened time and time again. And it's crazy because every year in the regular season, January, December, March, everywhere like we're like, wow, look at
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert, such a
Yeah.
great defender. He's getting all these blocks. But
Yeah.
then as soon as the playoffs come, as soon as you get a 7-game series to hone
Find the
in on
bitch. Find the bitch.
to
Get
find
him
it.
up.
There you go. Where's Rudy? Rudy gets played off the court, and like how you said, I just cannot believe in Karl Anthony Towns being the defensive anchor of that team. With
When
how
they have to
soft
take
he
it up.
is, with everything he has to take on, bro. Can we be real right here? If the Minnesota
Always.
Timberwolves played the Denver Nuggets,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is gonna have any answer for Jokic. We can even bring it to as far as like the Lakers. Like I don't think Karl Anthony Towns will have any answer for a player like Anthony Davis. And right now, like how you said, it's working because they got this twin towers of Rudy Gobert and Cat, and on a random Tuesday night, shit, it might work. But when I got 7 games to lock in on you, and I got my scouting team to find out your weakness, and once I get you on the island, it's a switch. It's a switch all day.
Yeah. And then not only that, offensively, they're able to take advantage of stuff that they're not going to be able to in a 7-game series against any. I venture to say any of the teams in the West are going to be able to lock in, make adjustments, and find a way to make them be uncomfortable. And I just I'm not buying it. And my biggest gripe, and I'm going to try to stay too far, not get into the numbers too much. But when you're spending 160, 170 million dollars on your payroll, and Rudy Gobert is taking 40 million, you can't just take him off the court. That's the thing. So you get to the highest leverage moments in the second round of the playoffs, and you got to take 40 million off the court.
They're not doing
That's the problem, bro. That's the problem.
And even us meeting in summer league in Vegas, like we learned a little bit more about the inside of the NBA and the businesses, and it's like he getting paid that much money. The people's at the top, like, the fuck you mean you gonna take him out the court? We paying him all this money. He gonna be out there. He gonna figure it out for all this money we giving him.
Yes. So what do? You triple down and you pay Cat 60 a year. You give him the extension. So now you have to play them together. So, but again, like I said, they're messing up what I think, because I was late on Ant. Everybody was like, and when I really have like dove into these, like he's it. And I'm just like, and he ain't gonna want to stay there. He's not gonna want to stay there. They're ruining it. They're ruining their asset base. And but what's the dude, McDaniels or Jaden?
Yeah, Jaden
McDaniels. He's tough, and I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. All right, brother. So I like that. All right, so let's move on here with our fill in the blank. And the next fill in the blank question, my brother, is the team with the best starting 5 in the NBA right now is.
It's easy to be prisoner of the moment, but nah, Denver.
Wow. Okay, tell me. Like,
well, because one, they're the defending champion. They prove why. Like that tandem is the best duo in the league until proven otherwise. And they're just super solid all the way around. I'm not crazy about Michael Porter and his contract, but some honorable mention with Boston. Their crunch time 5 is legit. I think that they're going to have some problems creating offense down the stretch once teams lock in on them, but that's just life in the second round.
That's real. Okay. So I'm not gonna lie. So I wanted to go with Denver because, like how you said, like until you get knocked off the throne, like what do you mean? Like you can't go otherwise. But the way I saw this was just more on like, man, if I'm at the park and I'm trying to figure out what five of a runway, or like what 5 would I rather have out there. And I'll be honest, brother, you said the honorable mention with the Celtics. Like I just don't think that there's a starting 5 that could really match up with Drew, Derek White, who's been playing out of his freaking mind, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis. And I know Kristaps has been catching a lot of slack, but if people will just really look at the numbers, he had a career year last year. He's been amazing so far for the Celtics, even for just providing them rim protection, being able to stretch out the floor. I could have gone with the Bucks. I'm not gonna lie, I could have gone with the Bucks, but in my opinion, that because the Bucks starting lineup is Dame, Malik Beasley, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook, and I just think that between Malik Beasley
on defense,
Malik Beasley and Derek White, I think there's a big difference between Derek White and Malik Beasley, and I could tell you that from a Lakers fan that I've seen Malik Beasley play every single game that he was on our team that year, and there's a big gap between Derek White and Malik Beasley. So that's why I'd go with that. But to your point is I would be wrong to say that there's any starting five that plays better than Denver, because they just showed it. They just showed it. They were the best starting five and they play together.
I like I like KCP is just super solid. Like they just check all the boxes. Aaron Gordon has like really blossomed into that Swiss Army knife of defensive stout. Let me check LeBron. Let me fill in the gaps. Let me be the roll man to Jokic. Let me hit a three when I need to. He's not great at any particular field, but he is a jack of all trades, and he's just got that B+ like across the board. So when I'm looking for weak spots, I just don't see it. What I'll say about Boston, and I'm going to save that. I'm not going to go at his neck on this show. I don't like Jaylen Brown, how much he gets paid in relation to it, and I think that they're going to have their own issues. But Crunch Time 5, when Kristaps is on his thing, which he has been, and I was clamoring for. I thought he would have been good fit with the Warriors last year. Everybody was laughing at me before Jordan Poole went there. I was like, maybe the Wizards will take Jordan Poole and Kuminga for Porzingis, because I knew it. He was killing it last year. The numbers said it. His health was good. And when Boston snatched him up, I'm like, oh my God, that is that is it, because they needed to figure out Al Horford. But no, Boston's got some synergy right now with whenever Kristaps is healthy. And
so let me hear. If you don't want to speak extensively to it, that's all good. But let me hear a little bit why you're not feeling Jaylen Brown that much. I know he's getting paid a bag, but
that's the problem. That's the problem.
But if he walks, this team takes a dramatic downfall.
It ain't. He walks and there's no alternative. He doesn't walk and there's zero. Could they go sign another $40 million player? No, but he had a $30 million expiring contract last year. Mm-hmm. Like they could have re-signed Grant Williams for $15 million, and they could have took whatever they got. They would have got a whole bag for Jaylen Brown last year had they traded him. And the thing is his best version is what Jason Tatum does, and he ain't better than Jason Tatum. So like he's never gonna get the chance. Dude, this dude is getting paid $40-something million, and he's the fourth option on the team. He is consistently, they're losing, and I look at the box score and he's got 18 points, 6 rebounds. Bruh, that's like, he's going to be getting $60 million at the end of this contract. Like,
man, brother,
the analytics ain't even in his favor. He ain't doing the dirt. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. No, by all means, I was just going to say, like, analytics definitely is not in his favor, but we got to take into account that he's getting paid like number one option money, but he's not, like how you said, he's not the number one option. We all know that number one option goes through Jason Tatum, but I feel like if we're watching Celtics games, we can all easily conclude that there are some nights where he is the number one option. There are some nights where he does play like that guy that we all expected him to be. And yes, he had a terrible playoff drop last year, but we cannot act like he wasn't an all-star. He wasn't Jason Tatum's right-hand man.
So here's my point, right? Because I'm not saying that he couldn't be worth that money on the right team in the right situation, right? Mm-hmm. You go cherry pick a team that I thought him for Trae Young last year might have been a good trade for both teams. But what I'm really getting at is he's never going to be the best version. If you had a Porsche that you love, that you rocked with in your car, in your garage, and then you got this cool ass whatever as your second car. That second car is never going to get the run it should get because you got your first love, and like their skill sets are overlapping. And it's like Porzingis and Drew ain't the number 2 and 3 option on the team because they're better than Jaylen Brown. They're the number 2 and 3 option on the team because one's the lead ball handler and one is a versatile inside big man that can bang the three lights out. So he's getting leftovers by default. This is not an attack on Jaylen Brown's game. He's just never going to get to be a $40 million player on that team.
I hear what you're saying. So you're talking about the fit. So kind of similar to like how the Raptors just got a bunch of 6'9" guards. Yeah. Like, so that's what you're saying. That you think that the Celtics should probably maybe look to make their team deeper and have different role players around there. Okay.
Let me ask you the question though. Here's the question. When they lose, anything less than a championship is a failure, right?
Yes.
So when they don't lose, when they lose, let's say that they lose to the Nuggets. Let's just say that they might even lose, to somebody in the East. Just pick one, and they lose, and then they dissect Jaylen Brown and they say, is his left still weak? Is he out there? What was his? Is he a elite defender? And then the next question is, okay, we got to trade him. And the question, like, what are you going to get from that? Like, you see what's happening to Zach LaVine right now, right? Mm-hmm. They're shooting slugs at him, and you saw what happened with Bradley Beal. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
So you mean like get your highest value for him while you can before the value drops? Is that what you're kind of getting at?
Because it's diminishing returns. They don't need what he can offer.
Okay. Now let me ask you one more follow-up to that, because I feel like, and I'm pulling this up just so I could for sure know for a fact, but I feel like the last couple of years in 2021, it was the Bucks that won a championship, right? Mm-hmm. In 2022, it was the Warriors that won a championship, and all those teams that made it to deep in the playoffs felt like they had more than one star, right? And if you trade away Jaylen Brown, you only have really one star. Well, do you even consider Jaylen Brown a star?
I think he could be. I think he's got that kind of potential and talent, but no, I don't think you need that. I think that Drew and Porzingis are kind of like
good enough.
They're kind of like Clay and Dre to Steph, right? There's one, and then there's 2A and 2B, and I think Drew and Porzingis can be that. What I'm saying is kick the can down the road, get some premium future value for him, and then so we'll see. Their hands are finna be tied behind their back in 18 months. They're gonna be desperate for a good 8th man, 9th man. Derek White is gonna want his money. Drew's gonna want his money. Sorry, that 50 we just giving it to Jaylen for his 18 and 7 every night.
Damn. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Jay. I ain't gonna lie. You calling him out. I ain't gonna lie. You convinced me. I'm gonna be real, brother. I'm gonna be real. You convinced me, because that makes sense. I ain't gonna again. I still have a bit of a worries of like, it's going to be hard to win a championship with just one star, because the league has changed since then. It's really hard to do that. But if you can build the right pieces around that one star, you can low-key do like what the Warriors did, to where, like how you said, Curry's clearly the number one option, and everyone else just complements him very well. Also, the Denver Nuggets, I feel like Jokic is clearly the number one option, but everybody else complements him very well. And I mean, if the Celtics like let this trade value go all the way down, like, that will be the worst.
Seen it. I'm telling you, Zach LaVine is the current one. Bradley Beal was it, and I'm gonna leave that.
Okay, all right.
I like Jaylen Brown. This is not an attack on him.
I understand. No, I totally understand. I totally understand. You're talking about the fit of the team and on that Celtics squad. I get you. I get you. And that's a really good point, brother. And that kind of leads me to my next fill in the blank, which is, and you kind of said it, so maybe you've already said your answer, but the best duo in the league is?
Oh yeah. That's Jokic and Murray. I do believe Dame and Giannis.
Thank you.
I do believe Dame and Giannis come playoff time will have something to say about that.
Thank you.
But
me too.
But Jokic is just a machine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I ain't gonna lie. Like I thought it was gonna be instant. I thought it was gonna be like damn near first game because it's just like Dame's game complements Giannis's game with all them shooters around. Like that's gonna work perfect.
They
But
got some stank in the air over there, though.
that's what I'm. They definitely got some stank. They definitely like started off really slow. I was like, "Whoa, what is going on here?" But in the month of November, they did go 11-4, and they're starting to pick it up. So I can only bet that December is just going to be better. But like how you said, like I just think it'd be disrespectful to Jokic and Jamal Murray to say anybody else is a better duo than them.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, brother. What about who? The best player under 25 in the NBA right now is.
Ooh.
That's a good one. It's a good one.
A good one. Wait, how old is Hallie?
Hallie's 23.
Oh,
really?
done.
Really,
Absolutely.
Brother? Can I remind you of the Slovenian monster over there? And I don't even know how you say it, but and over here in Dallas, Luka's 24.
You caught me off guard, but I'm not changing my answer.
Ooh,
absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Standing on business. I love it.
Yeah, no. And let me say this. I actually think Luka has more skill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to talk about crunch time or nothing, but like pound for pound, Luka's like offensively a more talented player. He can do more. And this year he's showing crazy efficiency also. Where I part ways with Luka is I think he's going too far down that James Harden path. Like a prima donna isn't the right word.
Okay.
But like a
complaining.
No, like a I blame him for Jalen Brunson not working in Dallas.
Okay.
Like Jalen Brunson was never going to be the best version of him playing next to Luka. You can talk about coaching, you can talk about the contract, you can talk about all that other stuff. There's no way Jalen Brunson should have went bananas. And there's this whole new player nobody knew about while he was on that roster for 3 years. Okay. And Luka, there's just a dynamic to I am the heliocentric, everything comes through me. I'm not going to be the one running down on defense. Why should we increase the pace? I'm doing it my way. Like I've seen this before. James Harden and I've seen this before. Okay. And they're enabling dude. And I don't think he's going to ever be the best version of himself. And when I look at the star trajectory of Halliburton, bro, I'm gonna leave that. Your turn. Your turn.
Okay. Let me get off hey, I like the Halliburton love because he's definitely been doing his thing. But I ain't gonna lie, brother. Like I'll be full transparency. LeBron is my guy. LeBron's my favorite player of all time. But if I had to pick a second favorite player, it'd probably be Luka. I ain't gonna lie. And it's funny because those are the top two complainers, but those two dudes are the most passionate dudes. And like I love Luka's game. And granted, everything that you said was right. I'm not taking away none of that. But I do want to play a little bit of devil's advocate within the sense of like, yeah, Jalen Brunson could have never been his best self next to Luka, but that's because Luka is a player that like he needs the ball to affect the game, right? Like Luka, he needs to have, like how you said, the offense needs to run through him for him to affect the game. But when the offense, but when the offense does run through him, it's so damn good though. It's kind of like, why would you? It's like why would you churn down? It's like not wanting to drive a Ferrari just because you wastes a lot of gas.
No, okay, why? Because again, when I talk about the second round all the time, like because that's where buttholes get tight. That's where everybody's locked in. That's where like it's at, right? Okay. So your fastball, when you are dominant, pounding the air off the rock the whole time, and it's all good. Again, 82 games. It's a Tuesday night. Like this works, right? We've seen this with James Harden again. So when your fastball works and you get to use it all the time, you get to abuse it all the time. You ain't ever working on the changeup. You ain't ever like finding out. You're suppressing talent on the roster that could be popping up and having wrinkles. So when you get in that dogfight, that you got a plan B, plan C, plan D. And Luka, don't tell me he can't play off the ball. Don't tell me he can use a little bit of turbo to let somebody else do what they need to do, and then he feeds off of that in some secondary action. Don't tell me he can't. I know he won't, and that's my issue with him.
Are you putting your team in the best position by putting Luka secondary? Because I don't think you are.
No, for a 10-minute stretch on a game in December or January, to you might lose a game. You're right. You might lose a quarter. You might lose parts of the game, but that'll benefit you when it matters most. We're talking about being the 3 seed versus being the 6 seed and having stuff worked out. There's an ego associated with Luka that's a stark difference, dude.
Not that he did. Okay, nobody deserves an ego, but like I do think that there is levels to this, and like whether we're fans of Luka or not, whether we like Luka personally, like he is at that level though, and I just feel like. And I just feel like even Kyrie to a sense, like I just don't think it's not even just Jalen Brunson. I think putting another ball dominant player, because Jalen Brunson is similar to Luka. Jalen Brunson, he can play a little bit better, a lot better off ball than Luka can. But I think he also needs the ball in his hands to really, really be affecting the game to the full Jalen Brunson effect. And I think if you put any player next to Luka that needs the ball, like you're just diminishing that player, right? So what I think the Dallas Mavericks should actually do, in my opinion, is have Luka as that one guard and put a 2 next to him that is not a scorer, is not specialized in that. To put a 2 next to him that is a defender, that is a great defender. 3 and Ds. You can do exactly what Klay Thompson did for Stephen Curry during their runs. What was Curry doing? Curry was hiding on defense, and Klay was guarding the other team's best player because they needed to keep Curry's energy for the offensive end. That's what I think they should do, and then continue to pair him up with those pick and roll bigs. Like I love Derek Lively. I know Jay on the other episode was talking about Derek Lively for Jared Allen, which is kind of crazy, but that's neither here or there. But like that's what I think they should do, right? Is not pair him up with a Kyrie or a Jalen Brunson next to him, because like how you said, it's going to diminish them, but rather put someone that helps Luka's game.
You are right. And that's why Grant Williams was gold for them. Like he's a low usage player, can hit 7 of 9 on 3-pointers on any given night, but also be a plus defender in most situations, and just out there to complement and take the toughest matchup. You are right. They need some Cason Wallaces. They need some Lou Dorts. They need as many of those as they can get. But they need, to me, instead of somebody like Kyrie, I think that they should have been in the James Harden mix. I think that they should have been in the DeMar DeRozan mix, specifically because they're distress assets and they can come in and kill the second unit the same way that Luka kills the first unit, right? A ball dominant dude who can create. Like DeMar DeRozan is the one for them to come in. He can still finish the game with them, but it's like every minute Luka's off the floor, we can keep the same heliocentric stuff going on. And but we'll see what they do. I don't think Kyrie's that type of player to run an offense and keep it efficient. He's the person to put it down, to finish the play, not to
Absolutely. Absolutely. And throughout his career, I feel like we've seen him when he succeeded most is when he was doing that. Like, LeBron was the guy, but and then at times at the end, hey, Kyrie, put it down, hit that side step 3 over Curry, which is huge. Absolutely, brother. And then my last fill in the blank question to you, and this right here is, really for all the fans out there, they really want to know, Jason, the serious title contenders in the NBA right now and my championship favorite is. So it's like kind of 2-part question.
So the favorite, contenders, and then the favorite.
Yeah, contenders, and then who you like got as your favorite. Who you think is going to take it as of today?
The contender list is not as long as I would you might think. For me, obviously Boston and Milwaukee in the East. I really just don't see it going no further than that.
Agreed.
I'm Philly's hot right now.
I don't see it.
But I'm just 16 wins in the playoffs. I'm not putting no cheese on that.
I've never seen Tyrese Maxey do this before. This could just be a hot streak for him.
No, I actually I'll buy Tyrese. Like
as a number one option, as a number two option.
No, not as a number two option on a championship team.
Wow, really, brother?
I do. Like, I think he's tough. I like him
already.
A lot.
He's 22. Yeah. He's ready for that right now.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah, he's a big game. He's a big game hunter. I like him. My problem is when I said again, I think he's a number two on a championship team. Like, I think, okay, let me put it to you like this. I think he could do what Jamal Murray did a little differently.
Wow. Okay.
But I think he's that caliber of yin yang, Jokic number one, Murray number two, Embiid one, Maxey number two, and make a run at the title. The problem is, again, I'm just not betting on Embiid health for 16 wins in the play. I'm just not betting on that. That's so there, I'm crossing them off. And like one of the two with the Bucks and the Celtics will be healthy enough to put this down. And I really don't even like putting the Bucks in there. That coach and their defense is just so bad right now.
I ain't gonna lie, he's been on the hot seat for he's been on the hot seat for a minute. And he even came out on one game and was like, yeah, my fault. I should have actually made this like what?
Yeah. Contenders in the West, man. I don't believe in none of these teams other than Denver. I don't believe in none of them. So I'll put it to you like this. If Murray or Jokic gets hurt, it's wide open. Wide open. And again, and the thing is Phoenix should be it.
They not it. I don't believe it. I don't buy in it, bro. I don't buy in it. They built the team to be top heavy with around three players, and one of those players aren't playing. So what are you gonna do? Are you really gonna give Drew Eubanks big minutes in the playoffs? I guarantee that shit's not gonna work. With the same thing that happened last year, we've seen Devin Booker going off for 30, KD going off for 30, and they still losing by 20. That's what's gonna happen this
year. Yeah. And the thing is I just came around on Booker too. I was late on him too. But he is the truth. He's the truth. Like, I love everything about his game and his aura, his like how he carries himself on the court. But again, you're gonna ask me to bet on that depth. I'm not betting on KD being healthy for 16 games, or 16 wins, I should say. But really, Beal, like, no.
Yeah.
Nope. Again, the only real contender I think in the West is the Nuggets. So
that's real. And who's your favorite to win it all then?
Denver.
Dang, Denver back to back, bro.
Jokic is a machine. Apparently the only team that has the backdoor key is the Houston Rockets. I don't understand what that's about.
Ime, shout out Ime, man.
Yeah.
Now that's real. That's real. I ain't gonna. I mean, again, like, it's hard to go against the Denver Nuggets. I'm in total agreement with you about contenders. I believe that it's Celtics, Bucks in the East. I like my bias. My bias. My bias side of me. Hey, brother, my bias side of me wants to do it, but and it makes sense because I mean, out of all the teams, like, we made it to the Western Conference Finals last year, and then now on paper and theoretically, like, we only got deeper. To be real, if you look at that,
actually, you're right. Let me amend that. Mm-hmm. If something happens to Jokic or Murray, I do think that a healthy Laker team will clean up.
And what I want to say is, like, that's maybe some of my bias side seeking out. But what I will say is that I do think Denver is far miles above everybody in the West, and then I believe it come Lakers and then other teams. So that's the only reason why I'd say Lakers. But for my championship favorites, not gonna lie to you, brother. I know we were just talking about it. You now don't believe in Jaylen Brown, but I actually got the Celtics, bro. And here's why. They have this squad that they've probably been best team they've put together. And you know what else they got, bro? They got scar tissue, dog. Like, and scar tissue is a real thing in the NBA. Like, and Kobe talked about this, right? Yeah. Kobe talked about in 2008 when they lost to the Celtics. He's like, it was one of my worst losses of all time. He's like, but when I came back in 2010, I was on a whole different level because he built the scar tissue from losing. And check out the Celtics. They got some real scar tissue. Look, in 2022, they lost to the Warriors in the finals. In 2023 and in 2020, they lost to the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. So they keep getting there. They keep getting there. They keep getting there. And now Jason Tatum, like in 2022, bro was like 23 years old. Like he's as old. He's a year older than me. He was like 23 years old. In 2023, 24. Now, bro, he's been there, been to the finals, been deep in the playoffs. He's been seasoned. They got this Kristaps trade in. Like the from head to from top to bottom, this Celtics team is probably more motivated than ever. And for that, like I'm gonna go with them. But again, I can't really debate a Nuggets. I can't debate against that though, because how fucking great they are. So.
I hate injury qualifiers. I hate them. When people say, well, if they're healthy, man, I hate injury qualifiers. But I have to give one on the Celtics. Mm-hmm. And like I said, dude has been tough the last season and a half. If Porzingis ends up missing like 3 weeks in the postseason, that's where I can't write in Boston, even though I said no injury qualifiers. But if I had to go to Vegas and drop money on it, I wouldn't bet on Porzingis for 16 games either, 16 wins. But if he is, they're the shoe-in favorite. I'm with you on that.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Okay, well, let's keep it pushing. Let's get to our next segment here. And that's the rookie watch segment, brother. So, as you know, like the biggest rookies, we know about Chet, we know about Wemby, we know about them big time guys, and Wemby is on like a 16-game losing streak, which is not totally his fault. Mm-hmm. But, on the rookie watch segment, I want you to break down to the family out there, break down to the listeners about a rookie you've got on your radar, and why. Mm-hmm. Why should people tune into this guy?
First thing I want to give a shout to Scoot. Like, keep the faith on Scoot. This is unfair. Like, he's got one of the biggest. I'm not gonna mention him. Like, leave my number one whipping boy is DeAndre Ayton. I'm not even gonna say his name no more. I just don't think he's set up for success this year, and like he's got stuff to figure out. So I'm just gonna say, everybody, stand pat. I'm not selling my Scoot shares that I bought, and he's gonna turn it around. I don't know if it'll be towards the end of this season or he'll need a full off season, but Scoot is still it. I like Derek Lively. I think that he's turning up defensively, and he was another one that I turned in my Warriors card, but I was like, oh, the Warriors need to make a move to get him. He's doing everything that he needs to. His IQ, he's not a liability on the island. He's got some of those versatility, just like AD, and I really like him. Usar Thompson, I'd love to shout him out. They've been taking it on the chin the last 5-10 games, but his defensive versatility is like crazy. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you didn't see it. It flew under the radar. But Dame hit him with that with one of his patented step backs, and he beat his shit. And I was just like, wait, what?
Beat this step back is tough.
Yeah, like nobody gets that off. Like, and it flew under the radar, and then they ended up getting giving up a bucket after that. But it was eye popping. So Usar, I had 2 or 3 more, but I want to hear yours.
Okay, I like that. I love the Derek Lively shout. And I also give a quick shout out to Marcus Sasser from the Detroit Pistons, man. He's on very limited minutes because he's playing behind both Killian Hayes and Jaden Ivey. But when he gets the opportunity, like, he makes it count. Like, there was a stretch of games where Monty was giving him the minutes. He had a 26-point game, a 19-point game, a 22-point game, and then got snatched out of the lineup. And look at and it's been very limited minutes, but he's a great decision maker. But ultimately, I gotta go with Derek Lively. You said it best, bro. Like, I think out of all the rookies, like, he has made the most impact from day one. Like, they drafted him for that defense. He brought that in. They drafted him to be a pick and roll partner for Luka and Kyrie. He brought that in. He's a great lob option. Even off the short roll, he's a great decision maker. He's honestly, most of all, he's helping them win. They're the 5th seed, and they're doing their thing. So I gotta coincide with you for that Derek Lively shout. That's
I'm trying to look at his stats right now because I know they're
Eight points per game, 7 rebounds on 72% from the field.
How many blocks is he getting? So 1 point, almost 2 blocks a game. So he's impacting it. And a lot of it you can't really quantify just off blocks, as far as deterring shots from the rim. But I really like him. Another one under the radar too is Anthony Black.
Oh, I like that.
He's his numbers ain't popping out because it's limited opportunity. But when Fultz has been out and you look at that lockdown defense, like he's a connector, dude. I love connectors. I love them. I think that they're habitually underrated. And I think they got a good one with him. And so he's between his defensive versatility, that 6'6" frame, and then just being some of that facilitating, fill in the blank with Franz and Paolo and my boy Jalen Suggs out there on that dog on defense. I like Anthony Black.
I like that. Okay, let me ask you one last question about the rookie segment. And I have yet to meet. I mean, I've heard people online that coincided my idea for this, but everybody I talk to always gives Chet the rookie. Like, is Chet a rookie to you or no?
No.
Thank you, bro.
No.
Thank you,
no,
bro. Look, let me tell you, bro. And I be getting off. I be talking to my homies, and some of my homies be like, "Nah, he's a rookie. This is his first year playing." I'm like, "Yes, it is his first year playing." But like, let's compare like Chet to another really real rookie. Okay, Chet was with OKC last year. Was traveling with the team. He knew the coach, knew the players. Like he was in like the locker room. It wasn't a complete like.
That's not fair.
That's not even fair. Like, think about another rookie, like even like Marcus Sasser last year when he was at Houston. Think about it. He was at a whole different state, right? He wasn't even in the same state that he's in now. Like, I know it could seem something small, but like weather change, time change. You just
weightlifting, routine. He got a whole year to just work on his shot. Like
man, he had an NBA facility for an entire year, and you're gonna compare that to another rookie who did not have none of those assets. Like, to me, it's so clear. So I just wanted to ask you because. That shit is crazy to me how he can get the rookie, and that's not the same BS that Ben Simmons got when he was that rookie when he wasn't a real rookie, bro. You've been on a team, you're not a rookie anymore.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, okay. Just want to make sure we was in lines with that. Okay, brother. And then let's as we start to wrap up the show here, the last segment we always like to finish off here is the winners and losers of the week. So since you are the guest, I do want to give you the floor, my brother. Who you can either run off both winners and losers, or we can, go back and forth, whatever you want, but you can go ahead and start it, brother.
Man, some honorable mentions, and it might be one of yours for winners. I think the Pacers and the Rockets are. But I'm gonna say my real winners are the Golden State Warriors. And I want you to track with me here. These dudes have been grossly neglecting the big man position for a while. I mean, like, it is damn near malpractice. And the reason I declare them winners is because they are getting it every night. And I'm loving it. Like, I've been a diehard Warrior fan for the last 20 years. And now that I'm trying to work in the league, I'm just like, here I'm nobody, we got to stay objective. Everybody's getting it. And they are getting it. Evan Mobley, Chet Holmgren, like Jokic, Alpi, they are taking turns tapping that ass. And Steve Kerr and Mike Dunleavy have no choice but to deal with this. Kevon Looney ain't it. Draymond Green needs to be a weak side help defender. They need to be able to shut down that paint. And they have this is like the elephant in the room that they can't ignore no more. Man. So when they finally decide it's either going to be CP3 or Wiggins, pros and cons to trade neither one of them, but they're going to have to. And then why does any draft pick between now and the time Steph retires, is that worth anything?
No.
Like, dude, take either Wiggins or CP3, take one or two draft picks that coincide with Steph's, peak years that he has left, and go get you a effing big man, dude.
Man.
And they have no choice but to do it. The way that they're losing, I'm like, this is a good thing for them. It's a real good thing for them.
So I ain't gonna lie, bro. I know I've been knowing you, since summer league, but I didn't
Yeah.
know you were a Warriors fan. So since now knowing you're a Warriors fan, let me ask you a question because we talk about the big man problem. I think you guys had a great big man that just didn't match your timeline, and then you guys just gave up on him way too early in James
Yeah.
Wiseman. Do you feel that same way, or do you not like him?
I was optimistic on him. Watching him in Detroit has made me think that they might have been right cutting losses on him. I don't. Regardless, though, they never gave him a fair shot.
Yeah,
Like
never
we don't
gave him.
even have the answer, and then he gets thrown into the abyss in Detroit, and that's not fair to him either. But what I did see was like the game was way too fast for him, way too fast for him, and I don't know if it was so fast for him. I don't know if he would have figured it out, but he never got the chance to figure it out.
That's
And the second that the Warriors quit on him, they should have pivoted to somebody else. I was like banging the table for Miles Turner, banging the table for Miles Turner. And now what? Now Indy ain't even gonna give him up because they found somebody who could use him the right way with Halliburton and Rick Carlisle. So to answer your question, it's just been a crazy mishandling of the situation, and now they have to deal with it.
that's
So
real. That's real.
you know,
That's really real, and that is one thing I've been calling to for a long time. And like, look, the league for the past, really, I think really ever since the Lakers won that 2020 championship, the Warriors winning, I think in 2022 when they won, that was like, and that was like, and I don't know how to say the word, an anomaly or whatever, like because it was just like a 1-1. But I think if you look at every single year before then and after then, before and after, there's been dominant big man that's won, whether it be AD, whether it be Giannis, whether it be Jokic. Like it's always been a dominant big man, and like
we got lucky.
This is a copycat league, right? So like what works is like when the Warriors in like 2015, 2016 was just shooting teams out with no bigs. What was everybody trying to do? Everybody was trying to go no bigs, just shooting out,
playing their game.
But but now it's switched, and I don't think they switched with it.
They didn't. They got stubborn and they dug in, but now they have to pivot because Steph, Clay, and Dre, they're not spry enough to deal with it.
So the Warriors are your losers of the week or your winners?
No, bro, they're the winners because they need to realize it's like they needed to realize that they have to make a trade. Like if you do some segment on teams that have to make a trade, like they actually realize and accept the fact that they're going to need to have to make a trade right now. But it was funny what you were thinking about. When J.R. Smith come out and hit 3 shots in a row in the beginning of the game, you know what that really means?
He getting off that game. Which
no. Well, what it means is what you have to watch out for is he might miss 8 in a row because he made the first 3, and he ain't got the situational awareness to realize he needs to pull it back, right? And that's what the Warriors did. They got away with that Kevon Looney, Draymond Green shit, and now they're just digging in. They're just like, we don't need to. We did it before. We could do it again. No. There's too many talented bigs. Shit done changed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, that's real. That's real. That is real, brother. Okay, all right. And then let me run off my winner since you
please.
Your my winner. I ain't gonna lie. I made this because full transparency. We was supposed to record yesterday before the game, but then my whole day got thrown into the abyss, and now we're recording today. But my winner, I'm gonna still keep him. It's Tyrese Halliburton. I know he didn't have the greatest game yesterday against the Lakers. Credit to the Lakers defense, but prior to that game, when they played the Bucks, he went for 27 points and 15 assists, 0 turnovers against the Bucks, who we know is elite defense. The game before also had double-double and 0 turnovers against the Celtics, who we just talked about Jrue Holiday being one of the best point of attack defenders. And then listen to these recent games and this ridiculous stat that I saw. Okay, 26 points, 13 assists, 44 points, 10 assists, 33 points, 9 assists, 26 points, 10 assists, 33 points, 16 assists, 37 points, 16 assists. And every single one of them games, brother.
I know what you finna say. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead, say it.
Above 50% from the field. And every single one of them games, he shot either 37% from the 3 or better. He's efficient and not turning the ball over. He's doing everything.
That it is. That's the point I was looking for. I was like, you ran off 6 7 crazy games in a row. And I was like, what did he have? Like 4 turnovers in that whole stretch?
Crazy.
In the whole stretch?
That
I've
is
never seen nothing like this.
Never seen anything like this since I've ever started watching basketball.
Yeah. The no turnovers, it was like I can't, they're completely different positions, but like I was drawing correlations between Jokic and Halliburton because these two are like, they're not premier NBA athletes. You know, they're premier athlete human beings, but compared to the NBA standard, you know, they're mid, right? What the hell is going on here? Their skill is off the chart, but their decision making, they never make mistakes, dude.
Never. That's
15
crazy.
assists and no turnovers, but you're doing this like every night?
As the primary ball handler, like I'm thinking like you probably just got like 4 minutes a game if you only had 4 turnovers in the last 7 games. No, he played 34 minutes
That's
plus
absurd.
As the primary ball handler. Like that, no, that's absurd. Shout out Tyrese. He has to be my winner, whether they lost or won against the Lakers. But who's your loser, brother? Loser of the week.
Loser of the week. I mean, I want to say, I don't know if Jalen Johnson got hurt before the week started. I want to say the Hawks, but I'm going to go with the Bulls. I'm going to go with the Bulls in the same upside down way of thinking that I kind of like rationalize it. These Bulls have won like 3 or 4 in a row. And I'm like, they're the loser. And they're the loser because they don't realize they need to blow this shit up.
Man.
Like this is not it. You're a seller. You're a seller and you think you're a buyer. What are we doing here?
Man. I feel you. That's real. That's a good loser of the week. My loser of the week, I ain't gonna lie, brother. They've been my loser of the week for the past 2 weeks, and I'm gonna keep it pushing, bro. There's no reason a NBA team should go on a 19-game losing streak. The Detroit Pistons on a 19-game losing streak. I don't care about the coaching. I don't care about how bad or good your players are. Like you have Cade Cunningham, and this is a whole different thing that like I think Cade Cunningham's been flying under the radar, and he needs to get a lot more slack on. He's the number 1 pick. He's supposed to be at least trying to change this franchise.
So I heard this. I heard your little popping off on IG, and I was actually gonna bring that up, but you brought it up. Go ahead, keep going. Finish the Detroit, because you're right. The stank is real in Detroit. Like, but who's the biggest culprit? Like, what's the biggest problem?
I mean, I'm not pinpointing all this on Cade because as like I was talking to a lot of people, it's like, yeah, he is leading the league in turnovers like by a wide margin, and he's also like as the primary ball handler averaging 4.4 turnovers per game, almost more than assists he's averaging per game, which is terrible for a point guard. But what I really find the issue is the defense, is the inefficiency. Like I watched the Detroit Pistons, and it doesn't look like they care. It does not look like they care on defense. And a lot of times in this league, like you play good defense, that'll turn into easy buckets on the other end. And it's like they're just giving those up. And every single time down court, I just think it's sloppy, brother. And again, remember, Cade Cunningham is a number 1 overall pick. I'm not trying to put the same pressure on him as like LeBron James had. Like LeBron James, when he came into the Cavs, like he was meant to turn this team around and lead us to the promised land. I would love for Cade to do that, but I'm asking like damn near just half of that. Like, bro, a 19-game losing streak, at some point you got to, as a number 1 pick, you got to put the team on your back and say like, all right, like I'm not saying take them to the playoffs, but 19 games is unacceptable.
So let me push back a bit on that. You're not wrong about Cade. My problem is your expectations for him need to be recalibrated, and then it won't look like a but it won't look as bad as it is. Because all of what you said, the turnovers, the 19-game losing, all that's real. And I'm like, if we're gonna assess blame, like to me, whoever's trying to build the roster, they're drafting talent, but the pieces ain't as compatible. And my real issue, like, and we seen it, right? The defense stuff. I was thinking about the Rockets, right? Same young team, should need to get the right vet, And I'm questioning Monty Williams, like as a coach for young guys. Like, I'm just like, he's a great guy, first class NBA, like, royalty type of, but that don't mean you the right person for this job. And and I question that. My real thing though, when you pound Cade, I think of Andrew Wiggins. I think of Andrew Wiggins in Minnesota, the number 1 pick, right? And when you recalibrate him as the second or third best player, and you look at the problem like that, then Cade he just needs to be your number 2. And when he's not the tip of the spear, those efficiency, the turnovers, those percentages, all of them start moving in the right direction. So,
I like that.
So it's calibrating your expectations for him and finding a true lead guard so he can be the wing that you guys are looking for. And then you got to find the right defensive minded big man, and you got to get the coach, like what Ime is doing in Houston. That's my take on it. But
bounce back to that real quick, because I like that. And all that is true. We can recalibrate our expectations for Cade, and like I that was an amazing comparison made with Andrew Wiggins. He was also number 1 pick, but I think we can all say, like, damn, like if that's the case, like if I'm bringing him to be the number 2 or number 3 guy, why did I take you my number 1 overall pick? Because Lopez was in that draft, Jalen Green was in that draft, Jalen Suggs,
you're right,
Giddey, like Scotty Barnes. It's like all these players. So if you're bringing him for that, why was he number 1 overall?
But the past is done. Okay. You can't you did draft him to be Luka, right? There was Luka comparisons for him, but now you got to deal with the here and the now. You're right. It's happened. It's over. You're a number 2 or you're a number 3 guy. And whether that means we go 2-19 and find that guy, or whether we give Jaden Ivey the reps that he needs, like there's no reason he should be coming off the bench. There's no reason. Like, I'm going to play him to a fault, because one of 2 things is going to happen when Jaden Ivey's out there. He's going to figure it out, and he's going to be worth the 4th pick, or you're going to stink so bad that you're going to get the number 1 guard prospect in next year's draft to take Cade off the ball as the primary guy.
Win-win. I like that.
But
win-win.
That's,
I'm gonna send this to the Detroit Pistons. Look at my Jay just figured out y'all whole franchise, man. For real. Nah, that's real, brother. That's real. All right, brother. Well, man, we had a real jam-packed episode, man. We had our winners and losers of the week, our rookie segment. We had a real fun fill in the blank segment. And we talked about the playing tournament. My brother, as we wrap up here, I do want to give you the floor. Say, is there anything you want to get off your chest? Anything you want to let the people know about what you got going on, brother?
No, man. If I'm going to keep it a buck with you, I enjoyed myself. I want, I'm just really hoping to be able to be invited back when you have homeboy from last week, Jay, or anybody else. I love the 3-way banter. I love to just talk hoops, man. I'm a junkie. I'm a nerd. I watch hours of hoops every night, and just to have this outlet to support you, I'm here for it. I love it. I love seeing you. You said something to me that, like, I vibe with 1,000% on the phone the other day, which was, even if this is never big, even if, like, I'd still be doing this just to talk hoops. And it comes through. It comes through on the pod and your energy. And just want to say I appreciate you,
man. We appreciate
invite me on. I'm here. Whether it's a couple times a month, whenever you just need some of that nerd swag and talking some CBA and some numbers. I'm working on my analytic game so I can, like, come with a little bit more behind the scenes data to add some value to some of these obnoxious hot takes that I get that I shoot off from time to time. So. Anytime you need me, man.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we really appreciate you coming on, brother. And I can guarantee this will not be the last time we see Jason's face on the show, man. He will definitely be back here with us. And like I said in the beginning, man, for the family, if you want to stay up to date with everything Jason's got going on, I'm going to link his social medias in the description down below. And for us, man, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and come join the family, man. We love hoops. We love talking hoops. And that's what we doing, man. But For now, I'm out of here, y'all. Clutch Talk out.